Welcome to the cloudy but beautiful Ninh Binh in northern Vietnam. As you'd have seen in the last video, unfortunately our night bus was nearly 3 hours late, which meant we didn't get to Ninh Binh until mid-morning. So we've just got up after our sleep because, as you know, on night buses, especially in Vietnam, they are really tricky to sleep on. Just the roughness of them, the driver is a bit erratic, the amount of stops, the bibbing constantly. So we've just had a nap and we're going to try and go out and explore at least one place before dark, have some food, and then we've got just under 2 days to see as much as possible in this what looks like incredible place. Let's go! So we have literally been going like 2 minutes. We've just filled up and come outside the Tam Coc area. I didn't realise how small this place was because, again, not even a kilometre outside of it, and we're in these beautiful mountains. And we've just stopped in this bridge because these boat tours here are the famous ones where they row with their feet. We are going on the tour, not today because it's nearly dark, and we're going to a different one I think as well, but it's just so cool to see. I've not seen in the whole of Southeast Asia people rowing with their feet. It's such an awesome technique. So we have quickly arrived at the Den Ta temple, which is a 13th century Buddhist temple. We are going to go in a second, but first of all, just absorbing these views. I know it's a bit cloudy today, but I love how moody it looks across all the mountain peaks. This place is absolutely stunning. Oh my word. As if this is just in the middle of North Vietnam. This is going to be a great place, I can tell. Yep, that is a great place to explore. Being free, you only probably need about half an hour, but the centerpiece is definitely the gate and the surrounding areas. It's absolutely incredible. That has got me hungry to explore this place for the next 2 days. We have quickly stopped before it gets dark at the Nhat Linh. These are beautiful scenery around here. Unfortunately, the fields have already been harvested, so they're just a mud field. But behind me, look at this. That's the cafe in these mountains. It looks incredible. So we're just gonna have a quick drink here and then head back into Tam Coc area before it gets dark. That place is an absolute must, especially I bet if it's a sunny sunset it'd be even better. One to recommend for sure. It's the next morning and we've just had breakfast on our balcony, but I thought I'd take you up here so you see the beautiful view off the terrace. Now unfortunately it is cloudy and raining a little bit. We had planned to go to the famous viewpoint, but we saw the weather, so we've delayed it. Fingers crossed tomorrow is a little bit better because we really want to get there early before all the tourists do, because it's well known fact that a lot of people come from a day trip from Hanoi because it's only about 2 hours away, so a lot of tourists get here mid-morning and they just take over all the sites. But yeah, there's an absolutely stunning view up here. This place is magical. I can't believe the Tam Coc area and how small it actually is. It's proper in the wilderness. This is very much reminding me of like Nong Khaeo or Van Vieng in Laos. It's got that same sort of vibe. Just casually walking your goats down the middle of the M1. So the first stop today is the Hualu ancient capital. Now it is only 20,000 dong per person to get in, which is really reasonable. As you pull up, there's so many places touting you to park, free parking, but as we know by now, traveling Southeast Asia, as soon as you park, it's make sure you buy a drink because it's free parking, make sure you buy a bike and go around on a bike because it's free parking. So we'll obviously purchase a drink on the way back through, but it's just the usual cheeky Vietnamese way of something is free, it normally isn't. This wouldn't be a proper temple if it didn't have a pond with fish that you can feed. Now this was on a sunny day. I'm sure the view would be amazing, but unfortunately it rained yesterday, it's raining today, so it's making it quite difficult to see as much as we'd like, but we're only here once, so we're still going to explore it. So Hualu was the ancient capital during the 10th century, I think during one of the first dynasties. From what we're reading in reviews, a bit of a mix of both. It seems very spaced out, like it's quite hard to navigate. Some of the posters aren't the most helpful. Obviously the bikes would be easier, but we just wanted to explore at our own pace and just try a couple of different pagodas. So we decided to come away from the main gate in the main area because there actually isn't as much as we thought there. I think you can get on a bicycle or a bike and explore around a bit further afield, so that's what we're going to see. So indeed, coming on the bike did pay off because we've come to one of the temples further afield that are on the map, and it's only about a 5-minute drive, but the views around this temple are absolutely stunning. The cliffs are amazing. We just bought a bottle of water off an old lady at the front for 10,000 dong. I actually thought driving around the area of the ancient city was probably nicer than the grounds itself, just because of how beautiful Ninh Binh is, and actually it was probably a bit too spaced out, the ancient city, and considering you've got places like Angkor Wat are at the same sort of age, 10th century, and there's just so much more to see. But still aside, it's still beautiful to go to. But we've now come to the next place, which is the Bai Dinh temple, which is completely opposite. It is relatively new, so we're going to get a mix today of the very old and the very new. But first of all, they have built one of the biggest car parks I have ever seen for these pagodas, and they're still building them. All of this, roads, parking, the whole lot, all of it is all for this temple, but it's all empty. It's crazy to see. So the funny thing about this temple, again cheeky Vietnamese, is it's actually free to go into, but they purposely built this massive car park 2 kilometers away from the temple, so you've got to pay for the shuttle. But it's all fine, it's all good, we don't mind. So it's 60,000 return per person to get the shuttle there, explore the temple and back. So realistically, it's not much money at all. This place is so peaceful and massive. The grounds are huge, there's so much to see and do, just like this bell tower, which has got an amazing 360 view of the grounds. This is gonna take a while to explore. So earlier when I said this is all new, there is actually some original Buddhist temples up in the mountains. That temple was built in the early 2000s, and that stupa has a lift inside it. So it's quite clear that it's relatively modern, and I'm assuming they're building for the future because, you know, every temple's got to have history at some point. The grounds are huge. It is stunningly beautiful. It's just such a shame it's so rainy and cloudy today. We're just not getting the best views, but it's still a beautiful walk round, and for 60,000 dong I'd say it's definitely worth an hour or so. That is, however, extra to go up. It's 50,000 dong a person to take the lift up and see the surrounding area. However, we're not going to do that because of how bad the weather is today. You can't really see that much. Yep, I'm completely sold on this place. Big, grand temples, beautiful grounds, combined with a tiny entrance fee. It just needs time to gain more culture across Southeast Asia, but it is stunning. Definitely one to come walk around. If the weather was even better, I would say that'd be right up there. So it absolutely hammered it down on the way back and we're so wet, but we haven't eaten all day, so we've come to Chuki's Beer Garden. We came here last night for food and it was absolutely incredible. We had pizza and sausage and mash. We've not had sausage and mash in months. They also do an amazing selection of beers, and I had a beer tasting selection. They were so nice as well. Proper craft beers and a lovely stout. But we come and had coffee and cake because we're just desperate to warm up, because it's not actually that warm in Ninh Binh at the moment. And I've gone for the traditional egg coffee. It's one of my favourite things I've had in all of Vietnam. Look how thick the egg is in this egg coffee. It's unreal. It's another morning in Ninh Binh, and unfortunately it's the third day of cloud and rain. We woke up again early this morning hoping that it'd be clear to do the viewpoint, but it's not. However, we might as well have stayed in bed a little bit longer, so that's what we did. So now we're going to head to the viewpoint, and fingers crossed at least we get to see something, because I've heard it's absolutely amazing. This place looks amazing. If only we could blooming see it. So we've come out towards the caves and the beautiful scenery that we can't see. I don't think it's even worth going up them, because that is the road just there, and up there you can't even see the top of them. That is supposed to be the viewpoint of the Moya Caves. It's just breaking my heart, because the view on the reviews looks absolutely stunning. You can see the entire of Ninh Binh, the rice paddies, the full view, the lot, but we just can't even see the top of the mountains. So we're going to pay 100,000 each, which again is not a lot, but we're going to pay 100,000 each to just be going into the clouds and get wet. So I think we're going to have to skip it. We have arrived at the Trang An boat tour. Now there's two main ones in Ninh Binh, one in Trang An and one in Tam Coc. Now we were staying in Tam Coc, but we heard such mixed reviews of that boat tour. We heard it was a lot more scammy, the boat riders asking for tips a lot more, very pushy, and the scenery's not as good. You don't get to go in as many caves. So we've come to the Trang An one, and by the looks of the car park and the busyness of it, this is definitely the right one to come to. However, it's still raining and still cloudy, 3 days of this, but we're not going to let it beat us. We're going to enjoy this boat tour. So now we found out the difference between the two. So Tamcock, yes, we've heard the reviews I just mentioned about it being a little bit scammy. However, it's a lot cheaper and a lot shorter, so it's only about an hour or two and you don't get as many caves. However, you can get a boat for just 2 people. Frustratingly here, it is 500,000 dong for 2 people, but you've got to wait for 2 more people to join your boat. It is 3 hours long and you do get to see a lot more. The first stop on this boat tour is the Den Trin Buddhist temple, which is just off the side of the lake, right on the cliff face, with the forest around it. It's absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful little stop off. And I love the fact you can only get here by boat as well, which makes it even more quaint. It's lovely. It's so shallow here. There's no space at all. So straight after that temple we went through the Dock Cave, which is a 1 kilometre journey through one of the tightest caves I've ever been in. You basically have to duck half the time and it's stunning. It's so beautiful, it's so different. And then from there we've just come through the mountains, which have been stunning, and we've now arrived at another temple. So there's plenty of stops, there's plenty of beauty. This is probably the first time that the moodiness actually makes it look even more special. So Ninh Binh is often referred to as the Halong Bay on land, and if you look at that, I can totally see why. I've been to Halong before 6 years ago. I can't wait to go back and just compare what this is like to Halong Bay. We've just got dropped at our third and final temple, which is arguably the most beautiful. I mean, they're all incredible, but this one with the surroundings, oh, I wish I could be here. It's so beautiful. I forgot to mention there is actually 3 different routes that you can go on. You pay for one, you can go on any 3, but we heard that third was the most exciting because of the Dock Cave, and I'm glad we picked this route because it is incredible. we are back at the bike, and honestly that was an amazing trip. All the trepidation around how expensive it was versus the other place, it actually was just so beautiful. The only downside was again the weather. It's raining again, so it took a little bit of an edge off it, but in some ways it did make it look as beautiful. Some of the temples and stops in the caves were brilliant, so definitely recommend coming here. It's a must do if you're in the Ninh Binh area. That is the end of the video. Carly and I have been talking about potentially coming back here. It would be amazing if we could, but I don't know if we've got enough time with our visa in Vietnam. So watch this space. We may be able to come back, which would be incredible, because I haven't seen everything of this place and I haven't seen it sunny yet. So desperate to see it like that, but let's wait and see. So thank you very much for watching, and as always, we will see you in the next one.